Today, Xbox held their 2024 game showcase, and Bethesda Game Studios had a few announcements for Fallout 76 as part of it, including one big reveal that many of us have been waiting a long time for. Here is everything you need to know about today's announcements. First up, Bethesda Game Studios announced Skyline Valley today, which is set to release this month on the 12th. I use the word announced very loosely here, as Skyline Valley has been known about for a while, and we've even been able to play it on the PTS. However, the Xbox Game Showcase had a lot of eyeballs on it, and it was yet another opportunity to drive more players to the game. And to be honest, they did a pretty good job with it. In a similar vein to the Fallout TV show, Bethesda produced a live-action trailer set in the pre-war and presented by the folks at Vault-Tec. Sponsored by Sugar Bomb Cereal, Vault-Tec is hosting a Vault-a-thon 76, an initiative designed to drive people to sign up to a vault. They have operators standing by, and even a live Vault-Dwell account of, presumably, sign-ups to the Vault initiative, which is currently over 17 million. Now obviously this is referencing the fact that at least from December last year, Fallout 76 reached over 17 million players, although that number is more like 20 million now after the Fallout TV show. The first caller is Harry from Skyline Valley, who is sending his whole family to Vault 76. This acted as a nice segue to show off the now post-apocalyptic Skyline Valley, right in the heart of Shenandoah. Again, the in-game footage presented is that which we've already seen and played before. In particular, you can see the panning shots showing off the eerie beauty of Skyline Valley with its menacing red storm. BGS recapped the fact that this is Appalachia's first ever map expansion, enabling players to head south and visit the Shenandoah region. I won't give spoilers here, but a large part of the Skyline Valley storyline revolves around Vault 63, and this is referenced in the trailer as well. Vault 63 was filled with some of the greatest scientific minds and scientists in the region, and this is partly why there are so many shenanigans in the vault. The trailer even shows off one of the expansion's new bosses, the Storm Goliaths, which appear as part of the neurological warfare event at the Hawksbill weather station, triggered by a nuke on the area. Some of the new enemies are shown off too, like the Threshers, which are giant mutated turkeys, and the Lost, a new variant of ghouls and former residents of Vault 63. They then reveal one of the new weapons introduced by the expansion, or should I say, weapon variant. This is called the Ticket to Revenge, a unique variant of the railway rifle which has double the ammo capacity of the regular one. Every player can receive this gun by completing the Seek and Shelter quest, and its unique bonuses are Bloodied, where damage increases up to 95% as health decreases, VATS Enhanced, which gives you a 50% plus chance to hit a target in VATS, and Lucky, with a plus 15 bonus VATS critical charge. In an associated Bethesda.net article, Bethesda Game Studios also revealed some other new content coming to the game when Skyline Valley launches on the 12th. In particular, this includes the Lost Treasures bundle. The Lost Treasures bundle includes the all-new Vault 63 Power Armor paint and jetpack. Also included is the V63 chassis display frame for your power armor, a Mow the Mole plushie, and a Vault 63 door display for your camp. Not only do these new items and skins look great, especially the power armor and the display frame, but BGS even revealed the new weather control station, which allows you to, quote, change the weather in your area. Is this really going to allow anybody to change the weather on the map? Even if it's just isolated to your specific area, camp, or region, will other players also be able to experience this weather change too? Or is it just a small little storm animation reminiscent of the weather in the Skyline Valley region? This has the potential to be bloody awesome, and I cannot wait to try it out. There's even a new lightning rod pose to boot, which allows you to stand in the storm and get zapped, which would go along quite nicely with the weather control station. And then, as a final reveal, Bethesda Game Studios announced that by early 2025, we'll be able to play as a Ghoul in 76. Yes, you heard that right. Playing as a Ghoul is something that Fallout players have been asking and craving for over many, many years, even though it was technically possible in Fallout Brotherhood of Steel and Tactics. This is in no doubt related to the success of the Fallout TV show, where one of the main characters is a Ghoul, aka Cooper Howard, played by Walton Goggins. Now of course, planning for this stuff takes time, and I'm sure development of the new Ghoul character for 76 started well before the TV show was released. But we and BGS have known about Walton's Ghoul character for a while, and I'm sure that it's at least partly related. Now the trailer itself showed off some new gameplay when playing as a Ghoul, and it's as you would expect. The Ghoul is wearing outfits, walking around, and shooting guns exactly as regular humans do in the game. The Ghoul skin, let's call it, looks great and it's pretty much what we've asked for. Though here's the kicker, it's not actually just a skin. There is much more about playing as a Ghoul in 76, which Bethesda Game Studios never mentioned or revealed in the trailer. Instead, in several interviews with the likes of PC Gamer, GameSpot, and IGN, Fallout 76 producer Bill Lacoste and creative director Jonathan Rush revealed more information about what the new Ghoul character will bring to the table when it's released next year. Specifically, when your character reaches level 50, you'll be able to change into a Ghoul. This makes sense in the lore of the game too. Everybody who plays is technically a past inhabitant of Vault 76, so it wouldn't make too much sense if you could simply start off the game as a Ghoul in the character creator. Furthermore, playing as a Ghoul will give you unique benefits, like resistance to radiation and other Ghoul-based perks. Specifically, Bethesda stated, quote, "As a Ghoul, you have that natural resistance to radiation. In fact, you even benefit from radiation in a lot of different ways, so that on its own will open up a number of different playstyles. So if I benefit from radiation and a lot of players wear power armor to stave off radiation, as a Ghoul, I want to absorb it." Creative director Jonathan Rush went one step further and stated that, quote, "Radiation will also be positioned to have other very striking benefits, punctuated a bit more by the dozens of Ghoul-specific perk cards that we're going to be adding." Now, getting dozens of new perk cards does sound very exciting on paper, but keep in mind several of these new perk cards will probably just be the same type with different ranks, like how we have Heavy Gunner, Expert Heavy Gunner, and Master Heavy Gunner for instance. Though I could be wrong about that. Additionally, there are also downsides to playing as a Ghoul. The PC Gamer article reveals that factions, especially the Brotherhood of Steel, don't take too kindly to Ghouls and won't even want to work with you. This goes as far as even impacting the end of the main quest, where you fight Scorch Beasts alongside the Brotherhood. Now, for new players or for those of us starting new characters, this does sound great. Completing the game's quest with a slightly different take as a Ghoul sounds awesome and opens up many opportunities for different storytelling, storylines, and perhaps even choices. However, hypothetically, if you do decide to turn into a Ghoul with a character that's already completed all the game's quests, will you be able to even experience any of these changes to the faction interactions in the games? My guess is probably not, aside from random conversations here and there, but let's see. But now, here's the kicker. In the interview, Lacoste reveals that, quote, "Ghouls also won't be able to play Bloodied builds, which are pretty key loadouts for Fallout 76. So we're going to be able to see what players get into and what kind of builds they make. So it'll be a different playstyle, which we're really excited to see. This is likely because Ghouls won't take radiation damage in the same way, and therefore their health can't get low enough for Bloodied purposes. I'm very, very torn in this decision, and at least currently, I'm leaning towards it being a mistake. Yes, I understand the lore rationale for when it comes to Ghouls not taking radiation damage, and thus not being able to get to Bloodied health levels. Yes, this potentially opens up a brand new build style, which may even compete with Bloodied depending upon what exact Ghoul-based perk cards are introduced and how Ghouls will be able to benefit from the radiation they absorb. Bethesda Game Studios have the ability here to go wild and crazy with these new perks, especially when it comes to damage output. And of course, playing as a Ghoul with resistance to radiation will probably enable you to walk freely through nuke zones without the need for power armor, which is absolutely a benefit. They could even allow Ghouls specifically to have increased damage output in nuke zones as they are absorbing all the radiation around them. Furthermore, BGS makes a good point that by not needing to wear power armor, you've just freed up a ton of perk points which can be used in other ways, including on the new Ghoul-based perk cards. However, as you all would know, Bloodied is by far the most popular playstyle in 76. Though it's not everybody's cup of tea, there is no denying that it is one of, if not the best ways to be dishing out damage in the game, and many players have fine crafted their Bloodied builds over many years, by looting and collecting the best Bloodied weapons, unyielding armor, mutations, and so forth. This is especially so after BGS significantly changed how damage is calculated in the game and the level scaling of enemies. Many players find the need to stick with a Bloodied build in order to take down enemies, especially if you're playing solo. So it does suck how we're effectively going to have to choose between playing as a Ghoul or playing as a Bloodied build. I would have loved to have done both, even if it might not make sense lore-wise. Bloodied builds are just so damn fun and essential to the game, and playing as a Bloodied Ghoul would have been awesome too. Yes, the game definitely needs more viable endgame builds which compete with Bloodied, and again this definitely opens up the path to achieve that, but in my mind they could have done this without completely locking out Bloodied builds when playing as a Ghoul. For instance, you could have low health Bloodied Ghouls which deal more regular damage, and then high health Ghouls that dish out extra radiation damage with all the radiation they're absorbing. But now, essentially, we're forced to start new characters if we want to properly try out a Ghoul build, especially because mutations probably have to change. And even though many of you have multiple characters, I'm sure, some of us pretty much have just been rocking the same character since day one. Though, playing devil's advocate against myself, this isn't really the end of the world. Making us start a new character is probably exactly what BGS wants, in order to enhance replayability of the game, which is something that 76 lives or dies on. That will likely be the only way to fully experience all the new content when playing as a Ghoul anyways, especially including those faction interactions and quest lines. Leveling to 50 knowing that you want to turn into a Ghoul as well will also help you focus on looting the best weapons and armor for that build specifically. Walking through nuke zones freely will be great, and of course, as I alluded to, the Ghoul based perk cards have the ability to be incredibly powerful and fun to use, if BGS gets them right. So let's see. And finally, in that interview, Lacoste reveals that they don't have any big plans to work with future seasons of the Fallout TV show. He says, quote, "The games exist in their own little areas of the country. Fallout 76 will continue to be in the Northeast/Appalachian region, and the TV show is expanding into Vegas now. So I think those will be separate adventures. I don't think we have many intentions to have a lot of crossover with it." Now, while some of you might see this as a bit of a bummer, it kind of makes sense. Coordinating things with the Fallout TV show and Amazon Prime would prove to be logistically painful, not to mention all the lore inconsistencies which would inherently crop up given the time in which both the show and 76 are set. Plus, Lacoste didn't rule out crossovers altogether. I'm sure there will still be some fun Easter eggs and skins especially that tie back to the show, especially because we'll be able to play as a Ghoul. So that is everything new that Bethesda Game Studios has announced for Fallout 76 today. Even though I've largely stopped playing the game, I'm still pretty excited about being able to play as a Ghoul next year, especially because we've been waiting such a long time for it. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.